being 7 o'clock, do I have a motion to open the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good evening. This is a meeting of the Finance Committee, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. This meeting is being video, audio recorded. First order, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to review budgets today. So first up is library.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Before we start, I'm just going to hand out a document. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Here you go. I'll make this short and sweet. So straight off the bat, I just want to say I have no bid requests, no requests for new items, and no capital requests either. What you have in front of you are two FY27 propositions. Highlighted items are contractual. Request A is ideal and a strong need, featuring COLA increases in salaries. And request B is a bare bones with no increases except for contractual increases working with outdated contracts. Now, I'll explain the highlighted number, which is everyone's favorite, the MAR for FY27, and the reason why the library cannot have a level funded budget. What is MAR? It is the municipality appropriation requirement that states a municipality must appropriate a figure of at least the average of the 3 years municipal appropriations to the library for operations, increased by 2.5% in order to be certified for state aid to public libraries. The MAR for FY27 is $309,137. That is our number. What happens if the library does not meet MAR? It becomes decertified and patrons lose borrowing privileges from other network libraries. As a small library, we rely on borrowing and lending from other libraries, and the loss would be devastating. Most importantly, we would lose state funding. In FY25, we were awarded $33,476 in state aid. In addition to meeting MAR, public libraries must adhere to minimum standards, which is my responsibility. We must be open to all residents of the Commonwealth, make no change for normal library services, but no charge for normal library services, be open a minimum number of hours per week, have a director with an MLS and a certificate of professional librarianship issued by the Massachusetts Library Board of Commissioners. 16% of our appropriation must be spent on library materials. Lend books and other materials to other libraries in the Commonwealth, and complete the state aid application in annual report information survey in the summer. As I do my part, the town must do theirs and allow us to meet above MAR to remain certified and receive state aid. Any questions?
Just real quickly,
Yes.
do you know, do you have any forecast or estimate what your state aid for 27?
I do not.
You do not?
We do not.
When do you find it out?
When the budget goes to the governor, the Massachusetts Library Board of Commissioners give us,
Traditionally, was it going up? Is it, does the state aid?
it's always gone up. Yes, we've never gone back down. We've always received a higher amount than the previous years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, one question.
Yes.
Do you have a number on how many residents use the library?
How many residents?
Yeah, or how many people use the library?
Um,
'Cause
I I can get a number of how many library card holders in
Okay.
Acushnet. I could do that, yes. I don't have that in front of me.
Approximate number. You know, I know we've asked in the past, and it was a pretty significant number.
It is. I think it's between 35 and 4,000.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have summer programs set for?
We do. We have, right now we're booking, I'm doing the children's programs, booking for that. Our summer concert series is all booked. That books early, so we start booking that in fall. But we will have 7 weeks of concerts starting July 2nd. So it's the first week of July, wherever that date is,
Excellent.
and then they'll be continuing.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
and the Friends are graciously funding our children's programs in the summer because those are costly.
My kids use it, it's a great
Yeah.
program.
Yes, yes, and we're trying to look for new things, so I'm always open to suggestions.
No questions?
I know it's only about a $2,500 difference, but what's the increase in the sale expenses this year? Was there something tied specifically to it, or?
It's the calculations that, you talk about the sales assessment,
Yeah.
the sales, yes. So it's the calculations that they were using to do the increases. I can ask for clarification on it, but from my understanding, it's a formula that was really out of whack. So last year, we didn't get any increases, but now we're seeing the increase. But the good news is that starting in FY '28, the calculation would be much simpler to understand. So that's why it went up.
Anyone else?
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Jamie.
Jamie.
Mr. Kelly.
There's raises put in that can't be put in at this point because the contracts haven't been negotiated.
Okay.
Are they in the process of negotiation?
Yeah, but we've got contracts that take years to negotiate.
Okay. So if that's removed from the budget, we might
Then
not.
we have to
we might not-
recompute the expenses.
Okay.
Well, that's what column B is. The contractual for the techs is going by FY '20, the contract that ended last year, and the director and the patron services supervisor is
That contract's up in June,
correct.
so you can't put a raise in at this point. So we'll probably have to look at expenses
Well,
Yeah. to keep it within.
the bottom line of request B is above mark, but that's with no increases in the two positions there.
Yeah, but there can't be any increases in the techs because they're AFSCME and that's no
But that's the
contract.
COLAs from FY, the steps, they're going above. So
Just steps.
the FY '25,
There can't be any percentage, there only can be steps.
but in
They
the
they don't
grid.
have a contract.
But in the email, it was to use the previous contract, so I'm using the FY '25 numbers in that,
The
the
numbers
matrix.
haven't changed yet,
Right, but you're going up by each step, right, Liz? You're
just a
going-
step, not a COLA, right?
But the step is an increase in the rate, though.
Yeah, but in other words, you didn't add anything to the step.
So if they're on step 2, you bring them to step 3, and that's it.
Yes, and then whatever rate that is for step 3.
Okay.
That's what I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Okay, so that's request B. So we.
That is request B, yes.
Okay.
That is the flat line,
All right.
not ideal.
249629.
Right.
Yes.
Right, so we're saying that $1,600 increase from the 2026 budget is because of a step, or individuals moving steps.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
she's saying, that's the way she calculated it.
Yeah.
Because if they're in step, they still get their step increase
Yeah.
each year.
Even
they
though
just
we
don't
have,
get the,
yeah.
they don't
That
get the
makes
percent.
perfect sense. So even at a bare bones minimum, we're going to meet the MAR, so we don't have a concern there.
Right.
And then once the contracts are negotiated, then that gets,
Voted at town meeting.
yeah, that gets it incorporated. But as long as we're not gonna miss the mark, I guess that's the part that's the most important.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, any questions? Mr. Kelly, Amy, yep, okay.
We might have to revisit energy at some point.
We might have to revisit energy, okay.
I'm not sure it's enough.
Excuse me. Why am shocked?
Right, because this is showing a decrease of almost 1%,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, okay.
We'll just look at the bills and if we have to.
Okay. How much has been expended already so far for 26? That might be a good indicator.
$7,700.
Okay, and that's
Is-
more than half the year.
Yeah.
Is that through, I've only seen through December, so is that January
I
and
mean,
February?
the energy bills are, there's a lag between,
Getting them in and showing up.
yeah, getting them in and then booking them. So there's a lag in getting them in,
Okay,
and then there's a lag in booking them.
a 3-month lag? 2.5-month lag?
Oh, yeah, at least.
Okay. But if 7,700 represents 6 months,
Half year, yeah.
then
We're close.
times 2,
Yeah, but that's last year's rates.
yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Let's not get started on that one.
All right. I think energy is for,
Here.
Energy's for the time.
Energy's all around.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So in other words, that just means if there's no issue, we'll meet Mark and call it, and
Yep.
without any issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any other questions?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
I told you I'd be quick.
I don't mind those 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Thank you.
Good night, ladies.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have our fearless new police chief.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to your first FinCom meeting.
I feel like I have more time in this building than I do at the police station.
Just keep that in mind if any of us show up in your
Yeah.
holding
Next week we'll
Welcome
be
to your
there.
first visit, right?
Tomorrow we'll be there.
He's already taken license plates in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So the first line item is the salary of the police chief, that's contractual. The second line item is for salaries of second in command. I believe we have put that, a number into the permanent salaries position for that, because it doesn't exist. While we're on that subject, I want you all to know that that is probably the biggest need in the police department. I don't know of any police department our size in this entire state that doesn't have a second command. Right now, we're struggling. The day-to-day operations, honestly, we're just keeping above water. With posts, with trying to look for grants, for trying to make sure our training meets post standards. With the day-to-day operations of the department, I'm relying heavily on union personnel, and it's not really their job.
Yep.
And they can't devote the time that's needed for that. And also, in the building, I'm the only one outside of the police union. So I have to talk to a wall or into a mirror to talk to someone else who is not, have any interest how things affect the union.
Yep.
So hopefully we can settle this. Right now, we do have an active list for a deputy chief. There's 2 officers on it that took the chief's exam with me. So I hope that we can, at some point soon, make a decision on that
How
position.
long is that list good for?
It's good for 2 years,
From last year?
from January,
Couple
February,
weeks ago. Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple
weeks ago.
Weren't we waiting last year for the state to approve it? Did they approve it, or what's holding us up is my question, I guess.
They approved us requisitioning the position and having the exam or the assessment center
Okay.
for the position. So we've gone through everything we need to with civil service. It's just the appointment by the selectmen.
Okay.
I have prepared a document. I can make copies for any of you that are interested on why I feel it's important, that breaks down a little bit more in detail.
You brought the copies.
I can make copies for you.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
have
don't
copies.
worry.
I just
Every
have.
chief before you has made the argument.
Well, you know, I'm glad you said that because I got on 30 years ago.
Yep.
And Chief Poitras, 2 years before I got on, wanted to have appointed 2 lieutenants. But it fell apart between the union got involved and then town meeting, and he just dropped it because he just dropped it.
Mhm.
Chief Allison, day one, wanted one. Chief Richmond wanted one. It's not a want,
It's
and it
a
hasn't been a
need.
want for a long
Sure.
time.
Yeah.
And that's what Phil said. I wish Phil was here, but
Yeah.
I wish it was here too.
yeah.
Every time it's come in front of the committee,
Yeah.
we've all agreed 100%.
Yeah.
You don't have to sell us on the case. We're 100% behind you on the absolute need.
Yeah.
Chief, maybe it would be helpful if you just share kind of the high levels, so that way everyone that is listening can understand the importance and how it would positively help the town.
Continually of leadership, when I'm out of town, I'm appointing a sergeant who's in part of the union. At least this way we know right off the bat, there's a clear-cut second in command. That person knows what my goals are, what we have money to spend, where we can't, what's tolerated, what's not tolerated. Operational efficiency, I mean, it goes along those lines as well. Emergency response, we'll take an example like the shooting we had a couple years ago. Chief Richmond, of course, we have an officer at St. Luke's Hospital, he's gonna go to St. Luke's Hospital. Our detectives go to the scene, but we didn't have anybody in a administrative role going to the scene to talk to the other chiefs involved, to talk to the district attorney, to organize a response, to relay information. That was just one incident, but that happens quite a bit. You have a fire, you have a blizzard where maybe I'm out of town or something of that nature.
Yep.
Supervision and accountability. This person would oversee the day-to-day operations of the police department, while I could focus on the future of the department, what our needs are, be the liaison to the finance committee, be the liaison to the board of selectmen, be a liaison to the other departments in town, focus on how we need to get money for body cameras, how we need to get money for other things like tasers that are going to be pretty much a need next spring, which is a big expense. Is there grant money out there? It's more of a focusing on the future and how we get there. And it will bring more money in if we have 2 people working, 4 sets of eyes rather than just mine looking at one thing. What happens is when I come in during the day, I plan on doing A, B, and C. I end up doing D, E, F, G, you know, and then I go next day is A, B, and C, but it's just all over the place. Administrative workload, it would definitely help decrease that. We'll talk about this later on in the line item, but I have an administrative assistant. Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, she does wonders, but today's different than what it was 10, 15 years ago. It's more responsibility and more accountability, and we need that. A lot of times I'm asked to go to Chiefs meetings, Bristol County Chiefs meetings, Semlet Chiefs meetings, Southeastern Massachusetts Chief meeting, International Association of Police Officers, and Police Chiefs meetings. That means I'm out of town. When I'm out of town and if the selectmen or someone want me to be there, I can't be in 2 places at once. So what ends up happening is I don't go to those opportunities, and that's where all my training comes from.
Yeah.
That's when I get to talk to other chiefs and get their information on what they're doing, what they're going on, what problems they see coming, what resources are out there. The post, I mentioned that before, that's constantly changing. The post standards, they certify every police department, every police officer. We have to a certain amount of training every year. We have to report incidents of internal affairs problems. They oversee us. So if we're not dotting our I's and crossing our T's, it's going to create problems. A partner, having someone to talk to, but that's out of the union. Someone to say, hey, is this a good idea? You know, and then say no because of A, B, and C. We don't have that. I'm not kidding you, I have to call other area chiefs. And they have their own, I mean, they're friendly and they're nice guys, but eventually, I'm taking from them.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Chief, I'm just curious, what's your rank structure like?
It goes
from
chief
men?
to sergeants.
So there are no
There are
lieutenants,
no lieutenants, no
captains?
captains, no deputy chief, nobody outside the
And
union.
how many total officers?
We are, right now, we are down, I believe, are we at 18? Or
Oh, total, I think so.
total 18? So we were down 2 positions. We're trying currently to get
Lateral transfer?
lateral transfers, which I think, I'm hoping that I can convince the selectmen to take at least 2 to get us up, just because that will get us, that'll get us whole for now. But we are going to be losing an officer, at least an officer, but probably 2 officers to the state police by June.
Any retirement?
And a retirement in December.
Is there
So-
any active duty guys right now, or no?
We have 1 on active duty, but he's on active duty and he's stationed at the White House, so I don't see him coming home anytime soon. It's a good job, and
Yeah, that's a good gig.
yeah, so he was deployed in November, so I don't think we're gonna see him next fiscal year. You're gonna see later on, I'm gonna have in there a request to put at least 2 more in the academy, just because the retirements, it takes a year and a half to train, fully train and call people for a list, so.
How are the academies? Are they far and few between, or are they?
They're getting better, but they could be a lag there too. It all depends. I mean, it
I
depends.
know in the past there's been problems with academies getting recruits in the academies because there's so few.
Yeah, it's a lot, and like just this lateral transfer has really taken the bulk of my time in this budget for the last month or so, because I can't really focus on the other stuff because it's so competitive. We have to advertise everywhere. We have to, if we get someone decent, we call them right away. We bring them in right away. We try to, everyone's asking for laterals.
There's 2 other towns I saw looking for laterals. I think like Dartmouth and New Bedford too.
New Bedford's offering $5,000 signing bonus. Rochester, it just took 3 laterals, 1 that we wanted. It's just very competitive. That's just the highlights of the deputy chief position. Let me get back to
I think the continuity of command is very important.
Yeah, like I said, I feel it's long overdue, and it's not just me who said it. I mean, if you know of any of the old chiefs, and just ask them these things. Let's see, salary positions, that number has gone up, and that's reflecting, hoping to get additional officers and money for the deputy chief in there.
So when you say the additional officers, is that the 2 positions you were just talking about?
Yes, that would be for those 2 positions plus, no, I'm sorry, those 2 positions, correct. The dispatchers, the next line item, that has gone up as well because we're adding a dispatcher. The reason for adding a dispatcher is we have 4 dispatchers, and we have for the last 3-4 years, 5 years. It's not working because if someone gets hurt or someone's out sick, the other 3 have to fill in those positions. And what's happening is the overtime, the order-ins are through the roof. And it's starting to affect their family lives because they can't make plans. They actually told me they're afraid to go on vacation because when they return, they don't want to be 3 back on the order-in list. That being said, that 5th dispatcher will fill 2 spots that are currently open that we are currently filling with overtime. And so that'll be, that 5th dispatcher will fill that spot, and then the other 2 days they work will be on the day shift to free up the dispatch supervisor so she can concentrate on administrative duties that she has, which are plentiful. And also by doing that, it will keep a lot of shifts, because right now the police officers do cover for the dispatchers to prevent order-ins. However, every time that happens, you're paying sometimes a police sergeant time and a half to cover a 911 slot.
Question, and I'm not looking to ruffle feathers with dispatchers, because we got some really great dispatchers out there, but like Fairhaven has started with doing the Holbrook and stuff.
That's a nightmare.
Has it been a problem?
It's been a problem. Every chief, it's been a problem. You're still gonna have somebody in the building for
Right.
walk-ins if someone says they're being assaulted, or you still need to have someone answer the phone in the building. It's just,
Yeah.
and not only that, the people, those regional dispatch centers, they don't know your town, your area.
Right. Yeah, I know Fairhaven's
Right.
had trouble, because I'm an active, I don't know if you know me very well, but
Yeah.
I listen to Scanner religiously, and
Yeah. They've definitely had issues.
they've had issues.
I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like we were joining Fayetteville, Mattapoisett, and us joining, whatever, and you have that.
Like a regional.
Right, but I mean, Mattapoisett, the police dispatch their own, they don't have dispatches.
Right.
So the interest level is really not there for them.
Quick question, Chief. On dispatch, 911,
Yep,
the 911 system,
yep.
whether you call it for fire or police, that all goes through police dispatch?
Yes, it all goes through police dispatch.
So there's no way of taking a firefighter and make them,
It's not that easy.
No.
It's not that easy because the certifications that dispatchers need are crazy. I mean, they've made it so it's such a technical job that you have to do that every day to keep that skill set. We have talked about it in past, but then you also run into union issues because they ask me.
Yeah, I know,
And then there's
that's-
that, but it's a good idea to think out of the box like that. I just don't know if it's a viable thing.
okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Chief, do you think that the reduction in overtime will be greater than the cost, the salary of the dispatcher?
Do I think it'll be greater?
So,
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
I'm
is the
just-
reduction in overtime going to be greater than what the cost of the dispatcher is? Because,
I don't know if
We're
it'll
gonna
be
save money.
greater, but it's definitely gonna save you money because we're paying 2 shifts a week at
Yeah.
overtime, then now you're not. So, I don't, and the other thing is that also, if the, I didn't mention this, I probably should have, the 2 day shifts that she's working with the supervisor, if the supervisor's out sick, we're not gonna replace her.
Mm.
We'll just run with that one dispatcher. So, is it gonna reduce overtime? Definitely. Will it offset the salary? I would have to dive deep into that, I'm not sure.
sounds like it probably would though, or be pretty darn close if it doesn't.
I would think so.
The other issue is you're right now having so many order-ins. It's actually affecting, not, I would say it's getting to be a health danger.
So it sounds like a,
I'd be honest with you,
No-brainer.
I actually originally wanted to do 6, but I figured we'd do 5 right now and see how this works and see if there's a need. It's not, the dispatchers aren't making as much as the police officers, not even
Right.
close. So it's not like adding another dispatcher is going to be crazy, but I figured let's walk
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, but
and
these,
that's why I think the cost of the dispatcher is going to be less than the overtime, right, what we're gonna save in overtime.
I would think so.
On a dollar to dollar, but then when you have to add in, there's gonna be health insurance, there's gonna be,
yeah, that was my-
Vacations.
yeah, you're
There are
gonna have
benefits.
those added costs because you're
Yeah.
adding an employee to the town
Right.
payroll.
Right.
I'm not opposed to it.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's honestly, right now, it's come to the point that we have to do something because it's just not fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The
not
health
fair
wise.
to the dispatchers you have.
Yeah, I mean,
Or the police officers who are being
Right.
forced in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, cost-wise, I mean, you have, I think we had last month, 3 sergeants covering desk shifts, mostly on the midnight day
That's
shift.
ridiculous, yeah.
I mean, there's, right there would help,
Yeah,
almost offset.
that- yeah.
And to answer the question on regionalization, the chief's right. If you've got a couple contiguous towns, you can do it. Right now, some of those bigger groups that have spread out and maybe have 4 or 5 towns between the member towns, there are towns that were encouraged by the state and took grants, et cetera, to implement this, and now they're trying to figure out a way to get out of it.
yeah. Because I know there was a discussion a long time ago about looking into it or potentially.
If it's
And then Fairhaven jumped on board, but they also do their own dispatching also when Holbrook isn't doing it. And yeah, it's a nightmare. It
yeah,
doesn't work.
the
I was
ones
just
that
curious
have
about that,
worked
that's all.
are 3 or 4 towns that are all contiguous.
Yeah,
And not only do the principal roads, but the secondary roads, a lot of them run in such a manner that it makes sense as far as someone who might not be familiar with a particular town that's dispatching and knows which way to go. I mean,
yeah. There's been times I've actually heard them Holbrook call out like a street name completely wrong.
yeah.
Right.
Totally
Right.
mispronounced.
Oh, there
Yeah,
was anecdotal evidence at an MMA meeting where they dispatched someone and he ended up on a beach looking at a lake, trying to figure out how
Trying
to
to get
go
to the other side.
the other side.
Where the road picks up on the other
So-
side of the lake.
Yep.
So it sounds like this becomes a safety issue.
Yes,
Yes.
serious
This is a
safety issue.
so.
Absolutely is. The next item is administrative assistant salary. I mentioned her earlier, and once again, if you do know any chiefs, former chiefs, I would encourage you to reach out to them. She was underpaid to begin with for what she does for our department. She is the backbone of our department. She does our budgeting, our payroll. She works with the girls at the town hall every day to make sure things are running smoothly. She answers phone calls for me. She sets a schedule. Well, that was last year. Then what happened is last year she was billing out, last fiscal year, she was billing out $66,000 a year in details. The town was collecting $6,600 in administrative fees. Since the police have settled their last contract, those details have gone from $66,000 to this year we're on pace to billing out over $1 million in details. Yes, I said it right, $1 million. And of them, the town is talking about increasing that administrative fee from 10% to 12%. The person who allows us to get that administrative fee is her, and her workload has just gone up tenfold. Honestly, I just think it's a fair, we talk about trying to figure out a way to do this. If, I believe Mr. Kelly can kind of go into how we kind of broke down that number. But I think I would hate to lose her because then the department's gonna screech to a halt. And I think if we need to at least keep her somewhat fair.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Questions? Okay. Academy, we did not have anybody in the academy the last couple of years. Next year, I'd like to see two. We have, even after Sergeant Bolorino retires, he told me he was planning on retiring. I only have 3 years left. Sergeant Ashley only has a few years left. We always lose people to the state police. It takes 1.5 years. We signed on to this, what's called the local register program with the civil service, which allows us to take already trained officers that do not appear on a civil service test because there were so many departments leaving civil service. But that agreement we have with them means that for every one we hire off that local register, within a 5-year period, we need to hire one off of the civil service list. So we're in the process of hopefully having 3 off that register. This would start the process of catching back up. Okay. Custodians, I believe, is everything there. Town details, I believe we stayed the same. Overtime is one of those tricky things. I mean, most of you have been on the finance committee for a while. It all depends on the year. If we're up in staffing, I think overtime will be under this number. I think it could be significantly under the number. Because a lot of officers now would, if we are at full staffing and there's a choice between a detail and an overtime shift, a lot of the officers would prefer to take the overtime, and then if it's not replaced, if no one takes the overtime shift, we can work with 3 guys, officers on the road. If we're at bail levels, we're gonna have to force people on the road, so that the overtime goes through the roof. So having that extra staffing allows us not to replace people when they go to in-service, not to replace people on personal days, holidays. We do have to by contract vacation days. But if nobody takes that vacation day, it doesn't get filled. So there's no overtime. So that's why it's important that we maintain that 4th officer on at least the day shift and the 4 to 12 shift.
And the what shift, sorry?
In the 4 to 12.
And, okay.
Longevity stayed pretty much the same. Right, let's see. Academy expenses, there's none. Clothing allowance was For some reason, I don't know how this happened, it was budgeted last year for 14, a little bit over 14,000. Contractually, it's gotta be around 28,000, because everybody gets $1,000 clothing allowance, and then dispatchers have their own clothing allowance, and that's probably right around $1,000 by the end of, when we figure it out. That's how I was told to budget for that, because that's what usually ends up. Energy, I mean, stays the same. Building and grounds, that stayed the same.
There was
Vehicles?
just, no, you just had the mini split, reserve transfer that went through. Now, during that discussion, there was talk about, I guess there's some other units that may need to be
That would
replaced.
be an article.
That's gonna be an article, okay, so that wouldn't be under that, okay.
Yeah, if you want, we can talk about the articles that I foresee. Yeah,
The immediate and the future.
yeah, how about that? Media in the future articles, just try to get everyone on the same page.
Okay.
Vehicles, I mean, it's hard to judge where we're at now, because a lot of times with the vehicle maintenance stuff, a lot of the mechanics and the people we send the cars to do bulk, like every 2 months, 3 months, so we'll get a flood of bills in at once, so it's hard to see right where we are at this year.
You don't have any in-house repair, right?
No,
Everything
we
has to
don't.
go out, right?
Yeah, it goes to Mass Auto for the most part, or Hiller, or
Yeah.
one of those places, or something of that nature. We are hoping to, with the amount of vehicles we have, it's just the maintenance, the oil changes, things like that, it's just,
How many cruisers are there?
oh, I knew you were gonna ask me that.
That's
5, 6.
More than that, a lot more than that. Let's see, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6.
Well, let's just put it this way, what's the oldest one?
It's 2014.
Really? That is pretty old.
Yeah, but that's.
We're looking at very,
Detective car, I think.
if,
Yeah.
originally when we hit the financial wall, we took the cruisers out of
Yeah.
Yeah, put it in
But-
capital.
and put it in capital. This is an effort to go back to where it should be.
Right.
Because
Put it back in
cruisers are
operation.
really operational,
Mhm.
and you're looking at a 5-year rotation of 2 cruisers a year.
Yeah.
And that is minimum.
Mhm.
But to get that back, we've got to phase it back.
Sure. For the record, I like the subdued color better than the black and white.
See, I don't. I'm old school. Office equipment is pretty much the same. Software, okay, this has gone up, and I can give you the reasons why on that. We were advised last summer that all our computers that were operating on Windows 10
Mm-hmm. We're
were
gonna go to 11.
we had to go to 11, or we needed to purchase new ones to be in compliance procedures.
Mm-hmm.
To buy 25 new computers at $1,500 each, we couldn't do that.
Mhm.
So we upgraded them at $350 each, which kind of blew this budget out. But it hasn't increased, this budget hasn't increased, this line item hasn't increased in several years. And the cost of user agreements with the vendors always goes up.
Mhm.
All our expenses are going up. So what this increase here is, in hopes that we can start purchasing like 5 computers a year to try to because these are all from the original building. So trying to upgrade them slowly over a period of time, rather than just come to you that we need $40,000,
How many machines you got?
25.
It's the same rotation idea.
The cruisers.
What is it?
As a cruiser, it's exactly the same.
That's kind of funny.
Telephone stays the same. Training and testing. Well, the training and testing, we haven't used a lot right now because I was saving it. And the reason why I was saving that money is the possibility if we do hire a deputy chief, I would need to be getting training as being the new chief. The deputy chief would need to be trained again, being a deputy chief, going out of the union, becoming administrative duties. We'd have to replace him, which I would assume they would probably replace the first, follow the civil service guidelines and take the first one on the list, which would be Sergeant Fonce, which means he's a detective sergeant. So I would have to put someone in that position, and he would have to get training
Everything gets cascaded.
And then we'd have to, and then if, because we take a sergeant out, you'd have to promote a sergeant and just using the same thing.
Mhm.
Potentially, the number one on that list is a detective,
Yeah.
and then we'd have to train someone to become a detective. So we've been kind of holding back on that. I mean, it looks like we're gonna end up starting to send people to training soon because we've been holding off on training that, and we need to continue with that. Let's see.
You also need it for post, right?
And we definitely need it for posts, yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Office supplies, gone up a little bit, like everything else has gone up. Lockup, hardware, other supplies, that is, right now, we use that line item to purchase ammunition, to pay for the lockups, to the odds and ends of the department. We have not purchased any ammunition yet because, as I'm gonna tell you later on, we are trying to write an article to replace our firearms, and they are different caliber, so we need to qualify with our old firearms this spring, so we don't wanna overbuy, so we try to limit how much we buy,
Mhm.
and then next year, we're gonna have to buy all new ammunition if we get the new firearms in the article. So that money will be spent this year. It's just a matter of holding off on that.
Question has to be asked, what caliber?
I was just gonna ask, I was going
I'll get to that.
for the article, but.
We definitely will get to that.
Yep,
All right,
okay.
let's just look for this.
Sorry, Chief, and why do we need new firearms?
I will go
You'll
to
get to that too?
Yeah, I'll get into that in the articles.
Okay.
Should I ask if we can buy the old caliber if there's extras?
Oh my God.
Have a conversation after this meeting?
Travel is.
Trade-ins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Training seminar, it's the same. The dues, I mean, that's the Mass Chief's dues, that's the dues to the International Association of Police Chiefs, that's all the dues that we have for the memberships that we have.
Mhm.
And then it comes to the vehicle. This represents a fully equipped
The single cruiser?
single cruiser.
That's one cruiser for sure.
Yep. And equipment needs, like I said, we have been holding off on that line item, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I didn't want to spend, not knowing if I was gonna be chief, I didn't want to be making decisions and locking in someone, if someone else is chief, I didn't want to be locking him into a budget where he had no money.
What falls under equipment?
Everything, like, if we need cones, if we need traffic cones, if we need ropes, if we need throw ropes, if we need,
You had mentioned taser training and all that, that's gonna be an article? That'll be outside?
Yeah, that's gonna, the tase is, yeah, that's totally
We're
different.
gonna get to that.
You'll get to
We'll get to
that.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the equipment is pretty much everything that we need for the cruisers and for the building or stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, for instance, we lost Officer Sergeant Matton. He used to be our accident recon officer. So I've sent an officer, Kevin Martins, to reconstruction school. Well, to go to the next step, he needs to have the equipment. So we have the money in the budget here to buy it now, but we just haven't bought it yet, because we were holding off to see if the next chief wanted him to go to the next step, okay? And that's about it I have for the budget. As far as articles, immediate need, we will be, I believe we're going to be getting a grant for vests, which is good. We have applied for it. We have
Like
applied for it.
5-year shelf life, right?
We have a 5-year shelf life.
Yeah.
Not all the department requires replacement, but a good portion of us do.
Mhm.
We called today because we haven't heard if we get the grant, because if we didn't get the grant, I would have had to write an article. They said we should be hearing within 3 to 4 months. So we sent it in December, they said it should be any time. So I'm going on the assumption we're gonna get a grant like we have in the past. Defibs, our defibs are 7 years old, and they are mechanically failing as far as, like a battery were dead. The battery's $700 to fix. We ordered pads, the pads aren't compatible with all the other so that was like $400 for new pads. It's crazy. With the new technology, if we were looking to purchase defibs that are compatible with the fire department. So if officers aren't seen, we can unplug our pads and plug into their defib.
What a concept.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Compatibility.
Could that fall under the ambulance receipts, rescue receipts, to replace
Different
defibs for the,
For police department,
it's a medical,
yeah, I understand. But DOR would tell us to pay for it under, especially since it's a reserve account that we're looking at.
How many do we need, chief?
Each of the cruisers. at
Each,
least.
we don't do it for each of the cruisers because we don't like them staying in the trunks because in the hot and cold it drains the battery. So we have the officers bring them in. I want to say we have I want to say 7. We have 5 for the cruisers, and we have 2 inside of our building. 1 in lockup, 1 in the lobby.
And what's the cost per unit for the compatible ones?
It's going to be altogether probably about $12,000.
For 7 units?
Yeah, for the 7 units.
Okay.
Is there any
Next
potential grant
item.
money for those, or no? Because I think the fire department got them under a grant once.
I'm not sure what grant money
Mass
would
does a
be.
safety grant, but that only covers training. I don't know of one for equipment.
I don't know one either.
I think when Kevin.
That was a deputy chief.
That's all he gets.
I was just thinking the same thing, but.
I was
we
going
had
to
a
say that, but I didn't want
Yes,
to
we
throw
were all
you.
thinking the same thing.
We'll
As
say it for
Deputy
you.
Chief, maybe he can figure it out.
If we had deputy chief, that would be something he'd obviously be looking at grants. I mean, it's just a need.
Yep.
That being said, the next article I'm going to be submitting is 911 recorder. The state was funding, gave us a 911 recorder, was going out of life right now, and they will not do it anymore, but we have to have a 911 recorder. What that does is record all radio transmissions, all, for all the towns and our own. That stuff we need for court. And it's a mandatory thing, and we're gonna be out of compliance very shortly. I was talking to Mr. Boucher earlier, Dr. Boucher earlier today, and I told him, as I was talking to him, I was looking up, and Chris Richmond had a quote from February of 2024 for the exact same thing, and now I'm like, well, 2 years later, we still haven't got it.
What's that cost?
That runs about $15,000.
It's not bad.
Yep. Now for firearms. So earlier, how this came about is earlier this year, Officer Matt Mello of our department does our firearms training. We qualify the range in the spring and in the fall. We do nightfall shoots in the fall. He wrote me a letter, and he said that we are constantly having malfunctions on the range with our firearms. They are at 8 years old, he says, and they're out of life. As a police chief, when you get a letter like that, it scares the heck out of you, okay? And with that being said, I asked him what he suggested. He then cited a FBI research into the situation of guns, into guns for law enforcement. And they suggest purchasing 9mm handguns because you can get more shots downrange because they have a bigger clip.
Yep.
And that's more important than the size of the hole you make. So I think they also suggested using the red dot sight technology, which that's modern. And he gave us a quote, and the quote was for purchasing the firearms. I want to say there was 25 of them because you want to have a couple extra. I'm not certain of that number. I believe 25 was what he suggested. And the quote they gave included, it was with training and our trade-in. We would be trading our firearms to them. We have to purchase holsters, new holsters, because these holsters don't fit those, so everyone would have to have holsters on top of it. Training, firearms, sights. You're looking anywhere between $35,000 and $40,000.
That's not
What do you
bad.
currently have, 40 cal or what?
We currently have 45 Glocks. We're going to 9mm Glocks.
So likely these would be less expensive than replacing the 40s to begin with.
The ammo's cheaper too.
The ammo's cheaper.
Much
Yeah.
cheaper.
Much
Well, I
cheaper.
mean, if we got new 40s for the 40s they already have, it
Well,
would be
again,
more
you got
expensive than
9mm.
9s.
9.
Yeah, it would be more expensive than 9s.
Yes, it would be more expensive.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're trying to follow what the best course of action is. And it seems like New Bedford, I believe, just went to 9mm. I think the state police are going back to 9mm. That just seems to be the way.
Well, even in the ammo technology now is It's gotten really good now, because that was the old school way of thinking, the bigger the caliber, the better, more stop at bar.
Yeah,
And now 9, what they're using in the 9s now is starting to get up there too, so.
right. One thing you were talking about was the mini splits earlier.
Yeah.
We were having a problem with the dispatch area.
Yeah.
And it was fluctuating during the winter, it's freezing, and during summer, so hot. The dispatch area is what cools off like our computers and dispatch.
Yeah, no,
And we got a price to have it fixed, and I want to say it was like $7,000 just for the coil unit
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
to fix it, and to replace the whole thing was like 15. But that was to replace all of the units, correct? Both units on the roof, right?
I think that's just the one for dispatch.
Just one
Yeah, the
dispatch,
whole
okay.
thing though,
Okay, though.
like everything, yeah.
Yeah, so there was no guarantee if they fixed the coil unit that it wouldn't be broken. And we,
Plus, the new one will be more energy efficient,
Doesn't it have a warranty?
and it would have a warranty.
I don't have
in warranty. Yeah.
did we look into,
We did get 2 quotes, we're waiting on one more, so.
Do they all come with a comparable warranty, or?
Did we look into that? I was
I'm
gonna say that
trying to
extra mini split
remember
that's in Sewage and stuff.
what they, I'd have to double check them. Once I get the third one, then I'll double check and I'll
Okay.
let you guys know.
We'd ask,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just,
just waiting
we've
for
asked
one
every
more
other
to
bid
really
company.
review
That's-
them.
We can't let this one go by.
So we need 4 more, right?
Yeah, then we'll have the whole
I'm
building
thinking about it
evaluated.
playfully, not out of malice.
So 6.
Did we ever find out if that mini split that we have in stock is compatible?
So that mini split is for a wall. These are ductless, they come through the duct, so they're all from the ceiling,
So
so
totally
they're not from the wall.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
So the answer is no, Eric.
Can't do it, sorry.
And
he
drill a
asked the
hole in the
question.
wall and just make
I mean,
Eric's
I'm
fit?
sure somebody would love
I
to.
believe that was a follow-up to your question.
Just trying to help you.
He just didn't want to say it.
Sorry, chief, you haven't been here for all the other meetings where that question's
With
been
it, yeah.
asked.
So with,
We finally have a conclusion.
there's another 4, so we're looking at 60, right?
Is it 4th? Yeah, I have to see. So once we get this one replaced, then we'll have the rest all reevaluated, make sure that in case we have to do them all at some point, kind of like the COA, we have to do all of those.
So we have 5 total on the police station? So
I
we'll look at the other
believe
4.
so.
Yeah.
So that could be an article for upwards of 60. When we say articles, we're looking at very few articles in the spring and a lot of articles in the fall. Presenting all this to you will help Adam Lamontagne hit the ground running. Because you will have already been hit with it once, and then when he comes in.
You're the tenderizer. Makes it a little easier to get through with lately.
That's the nicest thing that's been said to me lately.
That being said, I mean, this is not something that could wait till the fall, obviously, because we have $100,000 worth of equipment in that dispatch area, and if it's too hot in there, we're gonna have some problems. So this is something that needs to be done ASAP. Looking forward, our tasers are expiring, the contract on tasers are expiring, and that means we need to set up another, but once it expires, we no longer have insurance for the tasers, because the company that gives us, we get the tasers from, often give it to us, provides the insurance.
Insurance that they function properly?
Insurance that function properly, insurance if they break, they fix them, the maintenance agreement, they do all that stuff. Because after 5 years, their parts are no longer guaranteed.
Are they discharged often?
Well, you have to test them every shift.
Every shift?
Yeah, they're not. It's not so much a discharge; it's electronics inside of the taser.
Yeah, I got you.
So you have to change the batteries. You have to test them every shift. So there's wear and tear on those.
And I assume that also affects the liability.
Correct. And
The big reason they need to be up to date.
I want to say that number
they can just do the program.
to replace them all is the quote I got from one vendor. Now I don't know if I think they're a state bid, so I don't know if we would have to bid that out. But the quote I got was, I want to say $120,000, $125,000.
For how many units?
5 years, well, it's for all, so every officer has one, and we have a couple extras, so it's
So
the same thing,
25
about
roughly.
25. Yeah, and that would, but that doesn't have to be, like, there's options. You can pay it all at once if you want. You can separate that over a 5-year period. There are flexibility on that. He says it all depends on the preference of the town. Last time, I believe we just paid it all at once. But sometimes you could pay more, like this year and less next year, or more next year, less this year, as long as it's paid during a 5-year period.
And when are you looking to have these?
It won't be, the contract expires a year from July 1st.
27.
So sometime within the next year,
Yeah,
we
well,
need
a year
to
and-
decide.
Year and something, yes. So it's something I'm gonna probably be bringing in the fall town meeting.
Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
a lag between saying yes to it and the time it can be fulfilled? Like, I know we have a wait for cruisers. Is there a wait to get a new TASER program?
I asked that question, and they thought they could have the tasers, because we have to be trained on them, so definitely all trained, because they're brand new tasers with different capabilities. Right now, these tasers only fire 2 probes. The new tasers fire, doesn't have a drive stun, which put it against it, press the button. It fires 10 rounds. So, you know, there's different, so it requires more training.
Yeah.
So there's that component. And I forgot what I was gonna say, but they said if we get them in the fall, we should be able to get them by early January, the program going.
So it's a few
But
months.
yeah, but so it's not like we can wait to the spring.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? So it would be a few months lag on the other one, but
Okay.
that's the major one I see coming. Future things that you should probably have on your radar, whether it's going to be through me or someone else, another chief, body cameras it's a must nowadays. Juries are actually looking at our offices with skepticism that we don't have them. I can tell you that shooting in Fairhaven, if it was not on film, would not have gone as smoothly as it did. It's very rare that the district attorney says that night that it was a justifiable shoot. Otherwise, it could be months up to a year for, I think it was almost a year that they actually had the finding for that. In the meantime, you would have officers out, in this case possibly 3 officers out on administrative leave for a period of time. I'm not saying that's it, but the body cameras are a huge expense because you're not just paying for the equipment, you're paying for the cloud,
Storage and everything
the
else.
storage. And I tell you right now, we can't devote the resources to properly do that, so you'd probably have to have that company do it for you.
Oh, yeah.
There are grants out there, but the grants sometimes put more restrictions than it's worth getting.
Yeah.
So it's something that needs to be researched and like dived into. But that can't,
Deputy Chief, yeah?
So we don't have body cameras right now?
No.
no.
And what do you think the cost is, Chief?
Yeah.
Ballpark?
For 25.
$250,000.
Yeah.
Is that for just the cameras, or is that for the cameras in
I'm thinking
storage?
Cameras in storage.
Okay.
How it was explained to me, you can pay anywhere from $120,000 to $2 million. It all depends what you have in it.
Probably based
So-
on capacity, that kind of thing, yeah.
On what you want, you know, like Fairhaven has body cameras and they have cruiser dash cameras. So it depends, you want that, you can do that, you can do anything, you can tailor it to yourself. But it's the technology, it's just not cheap.
So
Do
the
we have
body.
dash cameras? Sorry, Sue.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Do we have dash cameras?
No,
We don't have
cameras.
either. Okay.
So the camera footage that we were talking about that from Fairhaven shooting was simply because Fairhaven has them. Otherwise,
I believe
we-
Fairhaven and Man Poison,
We
but I
were-
believe it was
we-
Fairhaven's cameras that picked it all up.
Okay. Otherwise, we could have been up
Yes,
a creek without a paddle.
yes, and you know what, and honestly, it's not just the officers being out, the officers are being out possibly facing murder charges.
Yeah. Well, that's the
You know what I'm saying? So that way, whether that's justified or not, that's still on their mind for a period of a year,
absolutely.
you know?
Living in crazy times.
Clearly, I don't interact with the police department very much because I didn't know we had body cameras. It's not like I get pulled over on a regular
I'm
basis.
asking a lot of questions, sorry.
No, one shooting could have been 3 officers
I know,
being paid
yep.
for a year. There are shifts having to be covered, probably
Yeah.
a lot of overtime or bringing others in. Just to maintain services would have been a huge expense alone.
And the mental impact on the police officer, I can't overstate that when you're involved in a shooting, it's not like the TV. You got shot, it's hard for officers to even come back.
Yeah.
You could get shot in the pinky, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a mental stress that you could,
Absolutely. God
No.
bless him.
So I have to ask the question, why isn't this something that we do? I wouldn't say April because, right, it's the hard time, but why isn't this part of fall town meeting?
Well, there's a number of issues that are, in the last couple of years, have resolved with body cams. For a while, there was a,
The unions didn't want him.
It's
yeah,
still
the
that
unions
there's a
were
bunch of
fighting
legalities behind
tooth
them
and
and
nail
everything else. Yeah.
having them. Now there's recognition that it's
They saved the officers.
protection for the officers, the liability, protection for the town.
They're more accepted, right, like that
It's
skepticism.
gotten to
Yeah.
that point now, but it took a while.
Totally,
I
so,
mean,
but still,
10
why isn't it
years,
part of fall?
I remember going
Yeah.
back, it was a fight.
Which I totally understand, but still, why isn't this a priority for fall?
I'm not saying, well, first of all, like you just mentioned unions, I believe you have to open the contract on that.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay, so that would be number one. Number two is the time. I mean, the time it takes to do the research, you don't want to get the wrong system, the
Right,
money, the time,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to begin, like, without having help.
Deputy Chief,
Yep.
okay.
I don't think I have anything else to scare you with tonight.
I don't think you're scared us, Chief.
No.
Just realistic.
Chief, just curious, are you the most senior person within the department? I'm just trying to wonder the gap of seniority that we are looking
Sure.
at.
I have myself, let's see, Sergeant Bolorino has one more year full-time service than me, then it's myself. So he's at 31 years. I'm at 30 years. Sergeant Ashley's at 30 years. And then from there, there's a drop to like guys right around 20. And then there's only a handful, maybe 4 or 5 around 20. And then the vast majority is under 10.
So there is gonna be a gap.
There is going to be a gap,
retire.
which is trying to get as many people up to speed in the
Yes.
next 3 years is gonna be a priority.
I can see that an issue down the road.
Yeah, once again, I'm gonna say this again, the deputy chief has been kicked down the road too long. And we're in a position now that if we don't, and I leave, and there's no to say that we have somebody that, some of our sergeants wouldn't go to another department and take a supervisory position there, because our sergeants are very well respected.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bloodbath out there. They want candidates, because there's not a lot of people want to be police officers.
Yeah,
Never
I mean, you
mind.
see it all the time, though. It's a tough job. I mean, I give you guys credit, your whole department, God bless you all, but I know it's tough to hire new people. It's expensive to the town. We see it every year. We hear about it every year in this committee, so I wish there was an easy answer.
It's like all of the other recruitment issues. There, for positions that you need experience and credentials for, there are not a lot of people out there. So municipalities are poaching other municipalities for people in leadership positions. And that's for police, fire, DPW, as well as
Board of Health,
inspections.
everything, yeah. Chief, how long does, the state has a certification for an officer, right? Like you, they.
Every 3 years. Every 3 years we do, I just went through my certification process. So every
What's
3.
involved in that?
We have to download all our training to post. We have to, they post us a background check. We have to have, I would have to sign off on that, those people, the officers on.
So if there's complaints against you, that becomes part of the record?
That becomes part of post records, yes. If there's internal affairs, I mean, internal affairs is one thing that, if it's something serious, we have to report that to post within 2 days. So it's like, you get internal affairs, everything drops. Everything you're doing stops. Same thing like with union grievances. Union grievances come in, I have to stop everything I do because there's a timetable that I must answer that
Right.
grievance. So there's that's what I'm getting at is, yes, in the past, a chief's been able to handle everything. But those days are long gone.
It's out of control.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
Internal affairs is what, state police?
no, that'd be us. That'd be me. How's that? That'd be me. Because you can't have someone inside the union investigate another officer inside the union.
Right.
And then, or if it's big enough, if it's something that's possibly criminal charges, I've been advised by other chiefs to have an outside agency do the investigation, and that causes problems of its own, and it's costly. You know, the one thing I will say though, and honestly, my 30 years of being a police officer in this town, we have the best police officers and dispatchers anywhere. Anywhere. They honestly work hard, but they're good people. And because of that, it has made my job a lot easier. You know, I've been a provisional chief now for was a provisional chief for over 6 months. I couldn't have got through it without them going above and beyond, but it's unfair to think that they're gonna keep doing that.
Sure.
Chief, quick question, and this is not budget related, I guess, but I know you've been involved with the LTC process and everything else, and there was a big reduction in the amount of available hours for an officer that handled that. Are we still at those same reductions?
That was me. I was the one who was unavailable. And that was because we had deployed 3 officers and lost 2 officers of state police within a month. So we lost 5. So we had a period of a year and a half where we were getting forced into work, probably every one of us, one time every other week. And now to put that in perspective, I went 20 years with maybe being audited 10 times. And now we were getting audited every other week. That's why the staffing levels, I'm so adamant we need to increase, because we can't go through that. The morale was terrible. It was affecting people's home lives. If people didn't want to come to work, they hated being there. And the atmosphere was just terrible. We can't do that again. It's just not fair.
I know my recent renewal, I just renewed, and I think it was 3 weeks from the
Yeah, I know.
application
He's
to.
pretty caught up now.
I think when we were talking, when my wife and my daughter went in for theirs, you were talking about you've gone from something like 30 hours or 40 hours a month, it was down to like one shift.
One shift a week.
Yeah.
And I could not do new applicants. I could only handle renewals.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't have the time. Because, I mean, I don't know if you realize how many LTCs in this community, but it's a ton.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's a ton, and, yeah. So it's, you know, and the thing is, the vast majority are good people, so it's not like the background checks are, you know, a problem, but all it takes is one background check to go a little bit sideways, and then you find yourself in court and this and that, and so now you back up even further.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have a person in that position who can self-supervise, and right now we have Sergeant Ashley in that position, who does a tremendous job.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it.
Actually, I got one, this is also not related. The gun range is gonna be changing their IDs. I gotta give you the,
Sounds like a plan.
we'll talk after.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Anything else?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Chief.
By the way, if you have any questions or any point want to just call me or stop in, please do.
We'll
I'd
be
rather
there
have you.
tomorrow night.
What's that?
We'll be down there tomorrow night.
We have
Yeah,
a meeting
if you
there.
have questions, I'd rather just get it from me than rely on, you know, just a friend or whatever, so I can get you the right information.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See, it wasn't so bad, right?
I thought you wanted me done in 10 minutes.
I wanted to be done in 10 minutes. Well, I was prepared for you, Sue.
But if you started at 8, you
I
would
was wondering what kind of games you're gonna play with me, so.
Never.
No, we don't
She
do
doesn't
that.
play games, she just
Yeah.
asks a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Looks like you just had a colonoscopy.
All right. Jeez. Poor guy. You, come on.
Okay, that's it for budgets. Any old business?
Nope.
No.
Any new business?
Nope.
Nope.
No minutes to
This is
review.
easy, no minutes to review. Next meeting is tomorrow, March 19th, apparently at the police department, because I will not be there, I didn't realize that. All right, that's the end. Do I have
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're
Good
done.
night.
Thank you.